Playing sounds. If you want to follow along with this chapter, you'll need to restart your Pa5X so we'll both be in the same place from the beginning. Also, once the Pa5X is started up, make sure that memory and autofill buttons are on, the control section is set to main, view set to sliders, the keyboard set library buttons set to category, the matrix should be set to bank 1, and reset the crossfade slider by moving it a bit and setting it to the left. In this chapter, we'll focus on how to bring the sounds to life and how to use the Pa5X features and tools to make them work best for you and your performance. On the main page, you can touch here to go to the keyboard set selection window. And on the keys page, you can touch here. But the other pages don't have that. That's when the keyboard set library buttons come in handy. You can use them to instantly go to the keyboard set category you want. Press Guitar, Page 4, select Guitar's Atmosphere, press Exit. These buttons indicate the play-mute status of the different sounds in the keyboard set. In this case, split is on and lower is muted. And upper 1, 2, and 3 are on. Here on the Keys tab, the sounds used are displayed. Let's listen to the individual sounds. Upper 1 is an electric guitar. Upper 2 is an acoustic guitar. Upper 3 is an electric piano and pad. Lower is muted, but there's a sound assigned. In this case, analog strings if you want to use it. Let's look at the control section. Make sure main is selected. This strip display in the control section indicates what each slider is assigned to control. In this case, the levels of the keyboard set, the 2 players, etc. Press View. Now the strip display shows what the switches are assigned to, muting and unmuting things like your microphone, as well as turning on and off some other performance functions. Press View again. Go to the Control tab. This page mirrors the control section. Set the control section to Keyboard Pad. Now the sliders are used to adjust the overall level of the keyboard set, as well as the individual sounds used in the keyboard set. These sliders adjust the volumes of the 4 pads. We'll look at pads in the Styles chapter. Go to the main page and use the display to go to the organ category. Select this first organ, DWB Famous Y+. Press Exit. DWB in the keyboard set name is an abbreviation for drawbar. The sound in the lower is a sampled organ sound. But the upper 1 sound is using the Pa5X digital drawbar organ. Set the control section to Easy Edit DWB. The control sliders are set to control the drawbars with the footages displayed below each slider. Go to the control page, and the drawbars and switches are displayed. You can even adjust the drawbars by touching and dragging. By the way, when a digital drawbar organ is selected, pressing the Easy Edit DWB button again brings up other organ parameters like percussion, amplifier gain, leakage, and more. Go back to the main page. You can hear that there's a rotary speaker effect on this organ. The Y+ in the keyboard set name means that pushing the joystick forward switches the speed of the rotary speaker. No need to hold it. This kind of attention to detail is one of the many reasons the Pa5X sounds are so realistic. Let's look at a few examples. Press the My Setting button. From the factory, this is an Austrian grand piano. Most other keyboards simply sample the notes of a piano, but the Pa5X pianos go much further. Let's turn off the reverb so we can really hear the piano itself. Press Menu, touch Mixer Effects, and go to the Master Effects tab on the right. And touch here to turn off the reverb effect. Press Exit, and go to the Keys page. First of all, notice that there's the sound of the hammer that strikes the piano strings, on and off when the hammer returns. There's the sound of the damper pedal being pressed. Press octave down, and notice the natural release of the lower notes. Press octave down and up simultaneously to return to the normal octave. And notice the natural overtones. Even the sympathetic response of the other strings when the damper pedal is pressed. There are 4 pianos like this in the Pa5X: an Austrian grand, a German grand, a Japanese grand, and an Italian grand. By the way, mute upper 1. The Austrian grand RX on upper 2 is the sound with all of the mechanical sounds. So you can easily remove them or adjust the volume to your personal taste. Go back to the main page. The Pa5X sounds are easy to control via KORG's DNC, Defined Nuance Control System, allowing the performer to accurately and expressively introduce the most subtle nuances in sound articulations. Utilizing the switches, the joystick, the ribbon controller, even how you play the keyboard to bring the sounds to life. For example, natural violin. Notice the natural vibrato. When you play legato, it truly plays legato. Watch what happens when you play notes legato more than a minor 6th range. If these switches are lit, that means they will affect the sound in some way. Press switch 1 to get marcato. Switch 2 for pizzicato. And switch 3 for this effect. Starting from G, each octave is a major, a minor, etc. The new drums in the Pa5X are incredible. Press Record Edit. Touch Sound Edit, then touch here, and go down to page 2, and touch the drum category. Select PopKit 1RR, and play the snare drum on this D note. Normally when you play the same note over and over, the same sample is played, which doesn't sound realistic. KORG has designed a round-robin and velocity switch system so the same sample isn't played twice in a row. That's why the drums sound so real. Listen. Press Exit, then Record Edit to return to the main page. All this round-robin drum technology and dynamic nuance control of the other instruments is all happening behind the scenes. That's why the drums, the basses, the saxes, everything in fact, sounds so realistic. The Pa5X is so powerful that you can change from one keyboard set to another without cutting off the previous sound and its effects. This is called SST, Smooth Sound Transition. I'll set this to favorites and go through some sounds. Nothing will get cut off.